As I always say, be of good cheer. Remember, it shall never be so dark. The sun shall rise again. Good morning, Jade. Good morning, Mami Mante. Good morning to you, George Mason. Iwujidzi. Yami babe. Here we go. Minutes past 7. On to the brighter side of life on a Thursday morning. This one says, happy birthday to a wonderful brother, Mr. Emmanuel Michael Davis in Baltimore, USA. Yes, to wish you a happy birthday, Mr. Michael Emmanuel Davis in Baltimore. It's from your siblings Mona, Madonna, Mommy, Vanessa, and Joe. God bless you richly. Happy birthday to you. Mrs. Alice Akrobo. A very loud, cheerful happy birthday to you, Mrs. Alice Akrobo, from your dear husband Richard, your son Pa, all your siblings, especially from Ishmael Ejikumeni to you. Much love to you, Alice. Happy birthday. And shouting out to you, Kay of Bedford in the UK. Happy birthday to Kay out there in Bedford, UK. It's from your dear mom, Winifred, your sister, Wilma, your grandparents, aunties, and cousins. The entire family wish you well, Kay. Happy birthday. To you, Emmanuel Nyakon of Model Nursery School. Happy birthday, Emmanuel Nyakon. It's from your dear father, Mr. Kofi Nyakon of Akoma Bespoke. Also from Sam and Lois Ellis to you. Happy birthday, little friend. Good morning to you, Mami Ajoa. Have a good one. Nina. Nina. Welcome to Old Age. Happy 40th birthday to you, Mrs. Gifty Edu Owusua Esare, Presbyterian Church of Ghana Christ Congregation in the UK, out there in East London. Love from Adelaide Owusua and the entire family to you, and all members in Christ Congregation. Wishing you God's blessings, Mrs. Gifty Edu Owusua Esare. Happy 40th. Welcome to Old Age. Lawyer for birthday in Swaha. Lawyer Francis Kelly Arthur and lawyer Michael Akowa. Blessings to both of you on your birthday. Lawyer Francis Kelly Arthur and lawyer Michael Akowa is from your classmates at the Ghana School of Law 2009 year group. Cheers to you. Once again, coming out to you, Mrs. Gifty Edu Osua Esare. Happy 40th birthday. Welcome to old age. Love and best wishes to you, Mrs. Gifty Edu Osua Esare. Presby Church of Ghana Christ congregation in the UK, other in East London. It's from Adelaide Osua and the entire family and all members in Christ congregation. Enjoy. Line by line. Brigadier General GKT Sam. Good morning, sir. Happy birthday to Sergeant Hammond at the Ghana Armed Forces, Department of Public Relations. You're currently on peacekeeping in South Sudan. So saluting you, Sergeant Hammond in South Sudan. Happy birthday to you from Nase. Best wishes. To you, Elizabeth Nanapoma Carr, aka Mama Lizzie. Happy birthday to you, Mama Lizzie, from your darling sister, Mrs. Naomi Carr. Your husband, Mr. Cyril Kofi. Your brothers, Winfred and Bernard Wellington. Your children, Nana Yao, Benjamin, Denzel, Cadell. Your daughter, Malaika. We send you love, Mama Lizzie. Happy birthday. Gifty Abba Sam. Enjoy your birthday wherever you are. Gifty Abba Sam from the Sam brothers. That is Frederick, Frank, Richard, and Richmond. God bless you, Gifty. Doreen Khan Mensa at Access Bank Medina branch. Happy birthday to you, Doreen Khan Mensa. It's from your dear husband, Atokan Mensa at Echo Bank Kwabenya. And the entire family to you, Doreen. Stay sweet. Wishing LeBron Asuma. Happy birthday to you, LeBron, from your mom, Abigail, your daddy, Yao. Your siblings, Jason, Asnath, and Quentin Asuma. Mr. Kwesi Ampedu Kisi, former GM of Finance at Senate. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday number 65 to Mr. Kwesi Ampedu Kisi from your dear wife, Ikuya Adoma. Your children, Mami Kisiwa, Urekwe, and Pakwesi. Sending you love, number 65. And I pay so many DVLA from Penny for Battery Train. Come on. Over Satan power. I will say tire LPMB on IDVIC. And no, you're down there. Remember. Yes, wedding Kunimo. Yes, wedding Kunimo. Over Satan power. It says it's the birthday of a wonderful woman, the board chair of the Minerals Commission, former member of parliament, former deputy minister, Mrs. Barbara Oting JC. Happy birthday to you, madam. Have a pleasant and beautiful celebration. Mrs. Barbara Oting JC is from Nana Say Sokas to you. Mrs. Gifty Esari of Darose Pharmacy in Okanshin. Happy birthday to you, Mrs. Gifty Esari of Darose Pharmacy. Much love to you from the entire family. Who is this King of glory? He's a lot strong and mighty. Yes, we're in Kunimo. See, I'm an overcomer. Listen. No weapon fashioned against me. Nana Bafo Berma of Achim Prem Kuma, aka Amount. So So to you, Amount, aka Dana Bafo Chumbem of ARB Apex Bank Cocoa House branch, is from all your colleagues to you.
Over Satan power.
See, I'm an overcomer.
I'm an overcomer.
So yes, wedding kuni.
Yes, we're the kuni. Over Satan power. Desire the kuni. I'm an overcomer.
I'm a ding now. I'm into Hosanna. I am for you now.
Very Reverend Father Okain, you are the rector at South Tuam Catholic Seminary. He has to wish you a happy birthday, many more blessings in your life. Very Reverend Father Okain, the rector of South Tuam Catholic Seminary, is from Dr. Ben Ochre Ankara to you. Much love. Warm regards to you, Professor William Babuating. May your day be blessed. Brooklyn Nanaya Ofori to me. Happy birthday to you, Brooklyn Nanaya Ofori to me. It's from your siblings, your parents, your grandparents. Of course, that's the Kobe A-class crew. Good morning, Kobe. Good morning from Accra to you. He's my darling husband, Mr. Frank Kwabena Samoa of Abosokai, celebrates his birthday today. And so happy birthday to you, Mr. Frank Kwabena Samoa of Abosokai. God bless you richly. You are an inspiration. It's from your dear wife, Sophie, aka Sophia Abena Samoa. Your children, Bema Maestro and Akusi Shira. I'm seeing Shirankwa. Nanaya Krang, good morning to you. Happy birthday. It was not your birthday. But some
FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Mr. Zato, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are we?
To God be the glory. How are you keeping up to?
Very, very well.
Thank God.
And your name is Abraham.
Yes, sir.
So you are father of many nations. So we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
My mother pronounces it Abraham. And she'll tell you that it is actually Abraham. So we say Abraham, some say Abraham. Whatever it is, you are blessed by God.
Amen.
Thank you for your time this morning. How have you been?
To God be the glory. We've been keeping up and working around the clock to help keep our roads safe.
Our roads very safe.
Statistics are pointing towards the fact that we are making significant progress, and I think that's.
But the car crashes are crazy.
Yes, I think.
I'm sure for somebody like you, because I see here that you're Deputy Director of Research, Business Development and Innovation. I'm sure it's a bother.
It is indeed, especially that we have to look into what kind of innovations that we have to introduce into the road environment and ensure that we carry everybody along in bringing about the change we desire. If you look into the data, 6 people are killed on our roads every day statistically.
That's frightening.
That's threatening indeed. And if you look at the distribution of the fatalities by age group, nearly all those who are around the economically active age group are those who are predominantly represented in the fatality group. That means that we are hemorrhaging as a nation. Those who are active in the economically age group are those who are we are losing in the road environment, which means that a lot has to be done. And again, if you look at the distribution of the data by gender, we have over 70% of the fatalities males and 30% female. Already, the population imbalance is in favor of women. Which means, again, that
we're losing more men.
We're losing more men. And in our part of the world, where you have a lot of the families being significantly supported by men, it means that the breadwinners are gradually getting out of, so putting more pressure on the women. And again, that has significant effects on household education, income, finances, health, etc. And then the burden of the family is then
shifted onto the women.
Onto the women, in
and
addition to all the other burdens.
It becomes very difficult for women as well.
Difficult, indeed.
I mean, look at the connection from the road all the way into the family. Maybe that is why you're doing IDVIC. Maybe that is why we need a lot more of such conferences and meetings and seminars and what have you. I've been doing, or I've heard the advert about International Driver and Vehicle Innovation Conference. What exactly is it about, and why is DVLA doing this?
Thank you very much. And DVLA, we all know is an agency of government.
Yes.
Mandated to ensure that our roads are safe with respect to licensing drivers and making sure that we have roadworthy vehicles, standards, etc., are maintained and properly complied with. And we've been doing this over the years, and consistently, because we are on ground. We see the transformations in technologies with respect to vehicles, with respect to licensing regimes, etc. And over the years, it's frightening the kind of technology that is being introduced into the road environment. What it is that a driver is experiencing when he sits in a vehicle. If you take a vehicle 10 years ago, the same module this year, the technologies in those two vehicles are very, very different. And how far are our systems also being transformed to meet the technologies that are being introduced into the road environment. Again, if you look at autonomous vehicles, electric vehicles, all of these technologies are being produced without quote unquote consultations with our side of the world.
Yes.
And it leaves room for us to start thinking about a certain national dialogue, a certain conversation that we have to have in ensuring that these technologies are properly regulated, they are properly introduced into the road environment, into the transport sector in particular, and then has the opportunity to contribute to economic growth and development. If you look into the transport sector in particular, road transport,
Yes.
over 90% of this country moves on the road. And again, if you look at the distribution of vehicles that are imported into Ghana, a significant percentage of that are used vehicles. Now we have to put all of this together and see how this policy around road transport, the future of it, can be discussed, can be reformed, transformed to contribute to what it is that we desire the future of road transport in this country to be. And that's the main objective of the International Driver and Vehicle Innovations Conference. We want to start a certain conversation.
A certain conversation.
Yes.
Now, I noticed that the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is your guest speaker or keynote speaker. I also noticed that Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers, the African Union representative, is also going to speak. And then also David Ofosu, daughter of A.B. David. And, so you also mentioned a conversation.
Yes.
We have the Vice President, we have Ibn Chambers, we have David Ofosu Daughter. How do we ensure that it doesn't become a talk shop? Because normally such conversations remain conversations.
It's true.
And we bring all the statistics, speak all the right English, if you like, harp on the right strings. What are the takeaways from this? What will we do beyond the conversation?
One of the things that we want to do differently this time is right from the get-go.
Yes.
We engage participants, and so while speakers are presenting and making insights, sharing their insights into what it is that they've researched into, participants have an opportunity through technology to engage the speakers, engage the experts, and help us develop that national consciousness that we're looking at. Beyond that, we want to translate the ideas that we are getting from the conference into certain actionable items. We hope, for example, that in the area of artificial intelligence,
Yes.
we're having representatives from the Parliamentary Select Committee in charge of artificial intelligence join us to have that discussion so that they can listen to what civil society is saying, they can listen to what other experts, sector experts are saying. What is the research? What is development around this subject teaching us so that we can then plow that back into policy and then ensure that strategies and action plans are developed to lead to national development. Then we sustain the conversation.
Okay.
So what we want to do this year, again, is right after the conference, certain groups of experts will be maintained to ensure that documents that inform government policy reflect the decisions and then the developments in the road transport sector. Right at the VLA side. Sorry.
No, please finish.
So
Sorry.
right at the VLA side, we hope that the discussions, the insights, and the revelations that we're going to receive from this conference will inform our own strategy development and then lead into action plans, and especially for our firms and how we serve the clients. I'll give you an example.
Please do.
If you look at developments in the vehicle industry, for example, I have seen a vehicle that you can change the color as many as 32 colors.
Wow.
Now, this is important because it affects the auto industry, the paint industry. So if you were dealing with in a business that imports paints into Ghana, and then over the time, data from DVL is showing us that many more people are bringing in vehicles that you can just right from your phone or the remote of the car change the color.
Wow.
That has significant effect,
Even security effect.
The security effect.
Yeah.
And then we are beginning to see vehicles that do not need number plates because it is programmed right into the vehicle. So this means that authorities in the road transport sector has to have systems. They must have systems that can receive some of these vehicles. We are seeing Tesla having vehicles that can self-diagnose and, request its own parts. We are seeing vehicles that all four wheels are turning. Now, if this vehicle moves to some of our stations, to do roadworthiness, what kind of systems do we have to put in place? I have seen vehicles, and I've tested some vehicles that will use lane technology, self-driving.
Yeah.
So
how do you even license that?
Exactly.
So it means the DVLA itself has to be up and doing,
exactly,
and be abreast with modern technology. Because I imagine if I brought a car to DVLA to register, it says a self-drive car. I mean, at that point, what do you do?
and that's true.
A car with its own brain.
The intelligence, the technology in some of these vehicles is amazing. It's amazing. And so, which means that our own business processes must begin to change. And one of the takeaways we want to have is to let policymakers, let civil society, let the general public understand that if we have to make certain changes, the time is now for us to start engaging parliamentarians, experts, media personalities like yourself to help us conscientize the nation.
Let me ask you something. I mean, you've mentioned parliamentarians, CSOs, people who understand artificial intelligence, and people who generally understand the evolution of the road transport sector. Now, for us in Ghana, the guiltiest are the driver unions in terms of the data, the report on road crashes, and all of that. Are you inviting them? Are you involving them in this?
So this conference is actually open to anyone and everyone,
Great.
every institution who has a thing to do in the road transport space. And in fact, there's a brilliant paper that is going to be presented looking at local knowledge, developments in country that we think that we should encourage, and government policy should seek to protect some of these innovations that we think we should harness and introduce into the road transport space. And we are encouraging all our brothers and sisters, GPRTU, Proto. We've invited everybody to Kempinski on the 10th of October, which is next week, Tuesday, to be part of this groundbreaking conference. One of the things we also want to achieve with this conference is to see how we can harness local talent, technology companies, organizations who are doing fantastic job in the road transport space, either for driver licensing space or for the vehicle industry, to come and let's begin to have a certain conversation where we can build synergy between our business processes and what it is that they are innovating. Because most of the time, that disconnect between reality as perceived in the road transport space and reality that innovators are producing, and then the perception that public policy, that public institutions are not catching up, is where we need to bridge. And that distinction has to come because the two organs must meet on a table and discuss that if this is what we are innovating, what kind of regulatory environment do we need to ensure that innovations being introduced are safe, first of all, and then are efficient and can contribute to economic growth and development efforts. Again, then you need to look into the broader space of sustainability, because you don't want to build systems that every other year you need to jettison and then reintroduce any another policy. So then we have to have systems built to last, systems that can withstand introductions, further developments in the road transport space, and then help sustain lives, efficiency, and growth and development. The other aspect of it also, we want to let people show forth by themselves what they have done. And so you realize that the automobile industry in Ghana is actively engaged with us here. Some of them are bringing in the latest modules of vehicles to showcase the technology. And then we can use that opportunity to build that synergy,
yeah.
What it is that they have and what our local partners can learn in order to move the industry forward.
In case you just tuned in, Abraham Zato is the Deputy Director of Research, Business Development and Innovation at DVLA. So a major conference is coming up on Tuesday at the Kempinski Gold Coast City, Accra, 10th of October. And the theme really says the future of transport. Sub-themes include innovate, reinvent, and sustain. Whilst we're talking, I'm sure we've looked at the sub-themes in all kinds of ways. But so you say anybody at all, especially who's involved in the transport sector, can walk in to Kempinski on the 10th of October. That is next week, Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Now, when they walk in, what is the process like? We know it's IDVIC, International Driver and Vehicle Innovation Conference. But so what are the processes? They walk in, then what? Would there be breakout sessions? Would there be this? Would there be that? What exactly would we be looking at on that day?
So we've broken the day into about 4 segments.
Okay.
So the opening ceremony, where we have all the dignitaries discuss government policy, and thereafter we move into the technical sessions, where you have a segment dealing with innovations, innovations for driver license and innovations for vehicle registration. I see a lot of people sit right here in Ghana and undertake courses abroad online.
Okay.
And we still have to require people to do physical appearances for certain business processes. We think it's time for us to edit that a bit and see how that can be improved. Introduce a little more efficiency and effectiveness in the business processes. The other segment will deal with reinvent. And reinvention here really talks about how we look at the road infrastructure itself and how we move goods and people from cities and across various destinations. The idea is that the infrastructure has to correspond to the technology in the vehicle, because some of the technologies in the vehicles, there are people who have vehicles in this country, and some of the discussions we have with them, they don't use even up to 20% of the capabilities of the vehicle, because the technologies that vehicle needs to work with is simply inadequate. And so we need to have that discussion on the infrastructure side. And then we move on to sustain, where we are looking at the public health consequences of some of the policies around emissions, around vehicle registration, and what it is that we have to do to ensure that that national consciousness accepts standards around vehicle registration, around driver license, and technologies that can assist government of Ghana to move forward. And, and help us meet some of the goals, especially with respect to sustainable development.
You mentioned infrastructure, and you say infrastructure has to correspond. I'm sure between us, we know then we have a long way to go, but at least it's good that we are starting this conversation now. Any final words you'd like to share with us before you take leave?
I'd like to encourage everyone that the IDVIC, International Driver and Vehicle Innovations Conference, is just the beginning. Come to Kempinski Hotel on the 10th of October 2023, right around 8 a.m. we start the conference. Let's build that national consciousness. Let's start a discussion. Let's begin the debate around what policies are required to move road transport forward. The future of transport is what we have to start thinking about as a government, as a people, media personalities, transport experts, public policy makers, etc., civil society organizations. We need to start the discussion now and see the regulatory framework that is necessary to safeguard the development that we have. On that day, we encourage everyone to actively participate and make known what you know that can lead to the growth and development in the industry. You can visit our website, idvic.dvla.gov.gh, and all our social media handles, and then you get more information on how you can participate in this conference.
That's the portion you took right out of my mouth, so it's good you added it. And so somebody sent one that says, I'd like to know if I can present a paper on research on new technologies. Well, go to IDVIC, that's one word, idvic.dvla.gov.gh. idvic.dvla.gov.gh. Mr. Abraham Zato is here with us this morning and is the Deputy Director of Research, Business Development and Innovation at DVLA. Mr. Zato, thank you very much for your time. And yes, it is IDVIC. Somebody's typing it right back to me. It's idvic.dvla.gov.gh. And so that's about it. Thank you very much for your time this morning. And we wish you very fruitful deliberations on Tuesday.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure the media will follow and we'll look for you again.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day. 6 minutes past 8 in the morning. Peace 104.3. Ay, ay, ay. Adumra. 7 minutes past 8 in the morning. Colonel Richard Mensah, good morning. Adumra is here. It says belated birthday wishes to Anohima Erekio of Kofodia Jackson Park. Anohima Erekio of Kofodia Jackson Park. Belated birthday wishes to you. Nyami Shrobibre, thank you for everything. It's from Ajua Yerenchiwa to you. Semitiasi. Once again, happy birthday to you, Thelma Natoshisai, aka Telima of Teddy's Irish Pub in East Legon. It's from the entire crew to you, Thelma. Stay blessed. Have a good one. Hey, and then Kokrokoo birthday. Henry Kwabena Kokrokoo. Dr. Henry Kwabena Kokrokoo, Chief Executive of EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. Your staff and management send you warm regards on your birthday. Happy birthday, sir. Uncle Run with it, emoji. It says, wishing my dear wife, Mrs. Agatha Cheche Andoplaha. You're a teacher at Oyaifa Presby Primary. Yesterday was your birthday. Belated birthday wishes to you, Mrs. Agatha Cheche Andoplaha. It's from your dear husband, Otoplaha, formerly of the Ministry of Education. Shouting out to my man Crawley. Once again to you, Crawley. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Benjamin Owusu. Onyankopon. Nana Boache in Dansuman is 78. Happy birthday number 78 to you, Nana Boache in Dansuman. Nana Unkwaso is from Kwesi and Ineje Bonso. A belated wish to you, Esther Na Ayele Hammond, out there in New Jersey, USA. Hope you had a good celebration, Esther Na Ayele Hammond, from your dear mother, Grace Joan. Eddie Banku. I can actually hear you say Mini Sunny. Oh, boy.